and Oliveboard was one of the very important sources for that. Your YouTube videos, for the explainers, the MCQ series on different reports, budget, economic surveys, that provided me with very good practice. I also extracted content out of those explainer videos to include in my notes.
ऑलिवबोर्ड का वो मेंटरशिप प्रोग्राम था, उसमें अनिल सर के 2-3 सेशंस हुए थे, तो उन्होंने भी गाइड किया कि क्या अप्रोच रखना चाहिए, अगर मेंस का पेपर के लिए प्रिपेयर करना है तो वो कैसे प्रिपेयर करना है, प्रीलिम्स के लिए अगर अप्रोच रखना है तो वो कैसे रखना है, तो इस तरह से ओवरऑल फिर एग्जीक्यूशन के साथ में हुए।
Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to today's session. Today we will be discussing the MCQs related to your finance part for 2022 and 2021. Yesterday we have completed the MCQs of 2024 and 2023. Today we are going to cover the MCQs of 2022 and 2021. Okay, your finance part. And guys, you can test your RBI Grade B readiness by answering these 10 questions. You will be getting a personalized report card as well. Plus your preparation related recommendation you will be also getting. So link is there in the comment section. Okay, a very good afternoon to everyone. Very good afternoon, Rahul. Let's quickly start the session. So guys, on the Oliveboard website you can go to the test section and there you will be getting all the tests related to RBI Grade B examination. Once you open this particular tab, you will be able to find out both the phase 1 and phase 2 test, right? And you can start attempting. All the subject tests are already uploaded and 2024 test is already free for all of you. Okay, so the first question for today is, which of the following is a 20 character alphanumeric code? Alphanumeric code used to uniquely identify the parties involved in the financial transaction. 20-digit alphanumeric code used to uniquely identify the parties that are involved in the financial transaction. This is from the paper 2 of your finance section for the year 2022. So any idea guys about this particular question? Any idea? Anyone? It's a very simple question. Options are bank identity code, SWIFT code, LEI which is legal entity identifier, IFSC code, or none of the above. So what do you think is the correct choice here? The correct choice here is, guys, option C. Yes, Rahul. Option C here is the correct choice, legal entity identifier code. Okay, it's nothing but a 20-digit alphanumeric code which is used for distinctly identifying the entities in the financial transactions. Okay, now this came in 2022. Next one, micro, small, medium enterprise. Now this particular question can be important for this particular year as well. So I'll be sharing the updated definition of the MSME with you guys, okay, after this question. So micro, small and medium enterprise are vital to India's economic growth and employment generation as well. As per the revised MSME classification, what are the investment and turnover limit for an enterprise to categorized as a small enterprise? What is the investment and turnover limits if you want to classify a particular enterprise into a small enterprise? Any idea guys? A simple and a direct question, and this can be important for 2025 as well. I'll be sharing the updated definition of MSME. The correct choice here is option D, 10 crore and 50 crore. So earlier it used to be 10 crore and 50 crore. As of now, the new definition, you can see that they have revised the classification criteria of the MSME on 1st of April 2025. So this becomes important for your examination. This is very important for your examination. Okay, this question can directly come in your 2025 RBI Grade B examination, whether in phase 1, it can come in phase 2 as well. What is the classification criteria? Depends on whether you are a micro enterprise, small enterprise, or a medium enterprise. Okay, this is the new classification criteria. If you are a micro enterprise, investment in plant and machinery or equipment should not be more than 2.5 crore. So can I write plant and machinery including equipment max 2.5 crore? 2.5 crore. Your turnover should not be more than 10 crore. So max 10 crore. If your plant and machinery and your turnover is up to 2.5 crore and 10 crore respectively, then you will be a micro enterprise. That's the maximum limit. That's not the minimum limit, that's the maximum limit. Okay. If I talk about the small enterprises, then your plant and machinery will go above not more than 25 crore. Okay. So your plant and machinery investment should not be more than 25 crore and your turnover limit will now be topped up to 100 crore. Okay. The new limit will be 100 crore. Very, very important for your upcoming examination. If I talk about the medium enterprise, then your plant and machinery and equipment expenditure can go up to 125 crore and your annual turnover can go up to 500 crore. Okay, that's the bare minimum requirement. That's the maximum requirement, I can say. Micro enterprise 2.5 crore, 10 crore. Small enterprise 25 crore and 100 crore. Medium enterprise 125 crore and 500 crore. Okay, that's the classification requirement. Very, very important for your examination, for the RBI examination 2025. And that's what the purpose of discussing the previous year question now is, guys. We can have an idea what can come in the upcoming examination, right? Next one, under the Payment Infrastructure Development Fund, PIDF scheme operationalized by the Reserve Bank of India on January 2021, which aims to subsidize the development of physical and digital point of services, POS, infrastructure in tier 3 and tier 6 centers. We are talking about the northeastern states as well here. How many new digital payment touch points does the RBI aim to create annually? How many new touch points does the RBI aim to create annually here? Good afternoon, Bhakti. Good afternoon, everyone. And the correct choice, guys, here is 30 lakh. Okay, so we need to also learn the things that is the aim of RBI. That is the aim of RBI, right? In finance current affairs as well, we are covering RBI aims and RBI targets and prominent government organizations and regulatory bodies targets, right? So please be alert here. They are asking the aims and targets as well here of regulatory bodies, specifically RBI, but we need to read it broadly. And I think we have also learned a target related to IRDAI. If you remember, guys, if you remember in the finance current affairs session, we have covered a target guideline related to IRDAI, right? Insurance related. So that can again be important. Next one, as per the latest guidelines issued by the Reserve Bank of India, what is the maximum permissible limit for FPI to invest in the corporate bonds? If a FPI, foreign portfolio investor, wants to invest in the corporate bonds in India, then what is the maximum permissible limit? Again, this can be important for your examination. Why? Because there is a change in this particular concept. Now there is a change in this particular concept. So this will again be important. This will again be important, guys. What will be important here is, earlier it used to be 15%. Yes, earlier it used to be 15%. But recently, in May 2025, RBI eases the FPI rules, right, on the corporate bonds to boost the foreign inflow. So on a review to provide greater ease of investment to the FPIs, it has been decided to withdraw the requirement for the investment by FPI in the corporate debt securities. So the requirement for the FPI to invest in the corporate debt securities and to comply with the short-term investment limit requirement as well. So as of now, they are waived off, right? RBI has decided to withdraw these requirements, okay? For the corporate debt securities, I'm just talking about the corporate debt securities and short-term investment limit. So please do remember this particular news as well, okay? We have already covered this particular news in the finance current affairs session. Before easing these rules, investment made by the FPI in corporate bonds with residual maturity up to 1 year. If you are an FPI, you are investing in corporate bonds and the residual period is less than 1 year. It was capped at 30%. Earlier it was capped at 30%, right? As of now, they have withdrawn this thing just to boost the inflows, right? For providing greater ease of investment and to boost the foreign inflows here, they have removed that. Next one, the import and export code is mandatory requirement for which of the following entities engaging in the international trade in India? Who is required to basically take the importer and exporter code? if these entities are engaging in the international trade. First one, LLPs, limited liability partnership, sole proprietor, partnership, HUF, या फिर all of the above. What do you think, guys? Should be the correct choice here. Yes, all of the above. If you are doing any kind of international business, then there is no kind of exemption. You need to take at least the importer and exporter code, right? Import export code, IEC is a must. Acha, what is the full form of LLP? Limited Liability Partnership. It is not governed by the Partnership Act. It is governed by the LLP Act 2008. Please do remember this thing as well, okay? LLP Act 2008. This is called as Limited Liability Partnership. Please do remember this thing. Next one is a para-based question. Corporate social responsibility (CSR) is a business model in which a company regulates its own practice to ensure accountability to itself, its stakeholders, and to public. And guys, this CSR will be very, very important for your upcoming examination. Why? Because we are having so many cases like Genzol, Blue Smart, IndusInd Bank, right? Bad examples of corporate governance, or I can say governance related topics will be very, very important in CSR. Again, is a closely related topic with corporate governance only. Often referred to the corporate citizenship, CSR encourages business to be mindful of their impact on the society, including economic, social, environmental aspects as well. By adopting the CSR, companies aim to positively contribute to the community and to the government, to the environment, rather than causing them the harm. Let's start with the questions of this particular para. Section number is 135. Please do remember the section of corporate social responsibility (CSR). It is 135. Can you tell me which net profit threshold makes a company eligible for CSR? Not all the companies are required to do the CSR activity, but only if you are crossing a particular threshold, right? So can you tell me the threshold in terms of net profit, in terms of profitability as per section 135 of the Companies Act? What is the threshold requirement related to net profit? The correct choice here will be 5 crore, okay? 5 crore is the correct choice. Next one. Which financial threshold must the company meet for the net worth purpose? Okay, for the net worth purpose. What is the threshold related to the net worth, guys? Any idea about that? I think the word net worth is missing here, right? Perfect, John. 500 crore. Okay, 500 crore is the net worth requirement. Acha, can you guys tell me how many independent directors are required in the CSR committee? So we need to file a we need to make a CSR committee here that is ensuring whether all the activities related to CSR are going fine or not, right? So how many independent directors are required in this particular committee? Any idea, guys? Anyone? How many independent directors are required here? Very good. One director, right? And what do you mean by independent director, guys? There is BOD, board of directors. In board of directors, we are having executive directors. We are also having non-executive directors, right? Out of the non-executive directors, we are having some independent directors as well. Basically, your executive directors are those directors that are participating in day-to-day activities of the company. Your non-executive directors are those directors that are not participating in day-to-day operations of the company. So usually in most of the independent committees, we need non-executive directors to participate, right? Because they do not have a conflict of interest, and in non-executive directors, there are directors called as independent directors. That means they are completely independent. Though there is a complete applicability, there are complete rules and regulations related to the independent director in the Companies Act. We don't have to go into too much details of that because Companies Act is not in our course. But we need to know that independent directors completely independent financially as well. Okay, it's not dependent on the company. It is not having any kind of financial relationship with the company is what I can say, right? And there are certain criterias. So we call them completely independent as the name says it all. So if CSR committee, we need at least one independent directors. Out of the total number of members of the committee, we need at least one independent directors. Next question. According to the SEBI regulations, what is the minimum number of directors required to constitute a CSR committee? How many minimum number of directors is required in this particular CSR committee? Any idea, guys? Yes, Bhakti, that's correct. 3 is the correct choice. Okay, so minimum 3 directors are required to constitute the CSR committee, and out of these 3 we need at least one as independent director, right? So this is the CSR applicability. Not all the companies need to contribute to society. You need to contribute only if you are fulfilling these conditions, right? In the preceding financial year, if your net worth is more than 500 crore or your turnover is more than 1000 crore or your net profit is more than 5 crore, if you are fulfilling any of these following conditions, not all, any of the following. Even if your net profit is 5 crore, it doesn't matter whether your turnover is crossing 500 crore or your turnover is, your net worth is crossing 500 crore or your turnover is crossing 1000 crore. It doesn't matter. Why? Because you have already crossed one of the 3 conditions. Right? So please do remember this. It's not like that it was already there in your 2022 paper, so it cannot come in 2025 examination. This is a complete myth. Okay, it can repeat. It can repeat, and CSR is a very, very important topic. Okay, so topics like CSR, ESG, corporate governance, BRSR, right? Green finance, high chances that you will be having one question from these topics in the examination, and this is a very high probability bet. Okay, when I say high probability bet, I mean that there are 70% chances, close to 70% chances that you can get question from these concepts. Okay, I'm in green finance, I'm talking about everything, green bonds and everything, right? So these are the high probable areas. I can even include blockchain technology in this. Okay, I can even include blockchain technology in this. So 70 to 75%, I personally feel that one question can come directly in your examination. It can be in the objective side, or high chances that these concepts can come directly in your descriptive paper of finance as well. Okay, so please mark these topics. Very, very important for your upcoming RBI Grade B examination. These topics are in the limelight, and obviously AI is again there. AI is again there, and I think last time also one question from AI came, right? And in the recent exams also we have seen, like PFRDA, we have seen concepts of blockchain technology, related concept like stable coins and all. Okay, so please be very, very sound in the legal understanding, in the basic understanding of these topics. Okay, अच्छा देखे हुए क्वेश्चन से आना, मतलब कोई देखा हुआ क्वेश्चन आ जाए उससे अच्छा कुछ नहीं हो सकता एग्जाम के अंदर, राइट? It will directly give you a competitive advantage. If it is in descriptive, it will directly give you a competitive advantage. Why? Because the competitors, उनको वहाँ पे struggle करना पड़ेगा थोड़ा उस पे frame करने में. But if you are already prepared for the descriptive, तो आपका mind map बना हुआ होगा. So definitely it will give you an edge. Okay. अच्छा, how much percentage I need to contribute? So at least 2% of my average net profit. So I need to calculate the average net profit of my preceding 3 financial years. I'll do an average of these 3 financial year, right? It will be a simple average. So total of all the financial year profits divided by 3. That's my average net profit for the preceding 3 financial year, and out of that average I need to at least contribute 2% towards the CSR activity. Section number is 135. Okay, section number is 135. Please do remember this section. And here is the detail related to the CSR committee that we just discussed. 3 or more director, minimum 3 directors are required, and at least one director should be the independent director, right? At least one director should be the independent director here. Please do remember this. Next question is related to commercial paper. Commercial paper is a short term unsecured loan issued by corporations. Now this is from your financial markets, particularly your money market chapter. Typically used in the finance accounts receivable and inventory. It is often issued at a discount which reflects the prevailing market interest rates. Sometimes referred to as an unsecured promissory note as well. A commercial paper represents a promise by the issuer to repay the face value of maturity. So let's suppose the commercial paper is of 10 lakhs, say for example. It will be issued at a discount, say for example 9,50,000. So you need to pay 9,50,000 and you guys will be receiving the maturity face value amount of 10 lakh rupees. So that's time value of money only, that's interest only that you will be earning. However, this promise is unsecured, that you need to know here. It is unsecured, meaning there is no guarantee that the investor's money will be returned. It depends on the financial situation of financial health of the issuing company, right? Furthermore, only companies with high credit rating and strong credit worthiness typically can issue the commercial paper. So there is a specific guideline who companies can issue the commercial paper that can be important for your 2025 examination. Please read those guidelines. Which companies can issue the commercial paper? It's not like that every Tom, Dick and Harry can issue the commercial paper. There are particular companies only. There are certain conditions that you need to know. Can only go ahead with the issuance of the commercial paper. So please read those guidelines after today's class, okay? Or whenever you get time. In India, commercial papers are issued in which of the following forms? The answer is already there in the passage. So sometimes we can get some questions like we can easily find the answers in the passage itself. And the answer is there in the passage, guys. Read the options and quickly tell me what should be the correct choice here, guys. Yes, promissory note, and don't get confused with the option A, participatory notes. Participatory notes is completely different. If a foreign entity wants to take exposure in India without following the FPI route, they use participatory notes. Okay, they use participatory notes. These are linked with derivative instruments basically. Okay, so please do remember, participatory notes is not promissory note, it's something else. So please do remember the answer here is promissory note. Okay, Acha, tell me what is the maximum duration for which commercial papers can be issued as of now in India? Maximum duration, a very simple, a very direct question is what I can say here. Straightforward question. Yes, 365 days, right? It's a money market instrument. I cannot issue it for more than 1 year, right? Next one. In India, commercial papers are issued in the denomination of what? How much? In the denomination of how much? And I think everybody will be aware of this particular thing. 5 lakh rupees, right? In the denomination of 5 lakh rupee. In the paid class, we have discussed this particular question as well. 5 lakh, yes. What is the minimum number of days for which the commercial paper can be issued? So what they did is basically they have picked a topic from the money market chapter and all the questions are framed directly. This is static part is what I can say. This is the static part question directly from your syllabus, right? So sometimes static part can also be essential. They can directly pick one particular question. What I feel is SIF, Specialized Investment Fund, is one of the area in which they can ask you question in the upcoming examination, a para-based question, and they can give you few pointers related to SIF. Why I am thinking like that? Because it is the first instrument which is bridging the gap between the mutual fund and the PMS. आज से पहले ऐसा कोई इंस्ट्रूमेंट नहीं था. फर्स्ट पॉइंटर. सेकेंड पॉइंटर, SIP inflows have hit all time high. SIP monthly inflows have hit all time high, right? Mutual fund AMCs are sitting at all time high funds, I can say. So these three things make it in the limelight. And I feel that they can give you a para-based question related to mutual fund or SIF particularly. Okay, it can be a mix of all the categories of SIF, SIP, PMS, AIF and so on. Again, it will be a very good question from your chapter financial markets, and it can be a mix of static as well as dynamic portion, right? So please do prepare SIF and other mutual fund related terminologies very well. The correct answer here is 7 days. So very good, Rahul and Bhakti. 7 days is the correct choice. Okay. Next question. Across the globe, banks are increasingly adopting the outsourcing as a strategy to reduce cost. So banks are outsourcing their work as per this para. Gain access to specialized expertise not available in-house and achieve their strategic objective. Outsourcing refers to the bank's practice of delegating certain activities to the third party, to a third entity, that would typically be handled over the bank itself, either now or in the future. Now this allows the bank to focus on their core competencies while leveraging the external resource to handle a specific function. So there are few questions related to this para. Which of the following activities cannot be outsourced by the bank? Which of the following activities cannot be outsourced by the bank? So totally unrelated question from the para. Para just gave a general understanding and all they wanted to ask was something else only. Okay, so para was just there to give you a context and to consume your time a little bit. And that happens majority of the time. Paras are there to consume your time, not to give you an edge. It's to take your edge. Paras are there to take your edge, not to give you an edge. Okay. The correct choice here is core management functions. Obviously, a bank cannot outsource its core management function. So even if you haven't studied this particular question, students of 2022, you can still attempt it, right? By using the best guess strategy here. Next one. Which of the following is typically included in the financial services that are outsourced by the banks? Which of the following is typically included? What a bank can outsource here. What a bank can easily outsource here. All of the above. All of the above. Right? Bank can outsource all of the above. Next one. Which of the following activities cannot be outsourced by the bank? Cannot be outsourced by the bank: investment management, document processing, data processing, determining compliance with KYC norms. KYC norms are very, very essential, right? KYC norms are very, very essential. Option D. So guys, moving to the 2021 previous year question paper now. We have already completed 2022 question paper today. Yesterday we completed 2024 and 2023 and we are having just 2021 paper as of now to complete. So before going ahead, before continuing this session, would like to tell you that we have launched a crash course. So if you are seeking a mentorship, you can check out this course, right? Link is there in the comment section. Let's start with 2021 previous year question paper related to finance. First question. Out of the following, which item are classified under the revenue expenditure as per the government accounting? Now this question is directly from the basics of accounting, I can say, right? Though in 2021 basics of accounting was not even there in your course. It used to be in 2016, 2017, 2018. Earlier RBI removed that particular thing, basics of accounting and financial statements wala chapter. They reintroduced it in 2023, but they haven't stopped asking the questions. They never stopped asking the questions related to accounting directly or indirectly, and that's what the importance of accounting is, guys, for the upcoming examination. That can be very important topic for your phase 2. Okay, for your phase 2, accounting can be very important topic. So loan to state government, do you think that this is a revenue expenditure? Will it result in a short term expenditure, or what I can say is I can see that it is resulting in a capital expenditure. It is resulting in a creation of asset, right? That will give me money, that will give me interest. So it's clearly a capital nature item and never a revenue nature item. If I talk about subsidies, Yes, government frequently gives subsidies and no asset is being created, right? This is a revenue nature expenditure. Interest payment, if you have paid some interest, there is no creation of asset. This is a finance charge, again a revenue nature expenditure. Option, oh god, option is not there. No worries, let's make it 2 and 3. Okay, I think this is some error here in the option D. Ideally it should be 2 and 3. Okay, so subsidies and interest payments will be revenue expenditure. So wrong option here. There is a printing mistake is what I can say, right? Typing mistake is what I can say. The correct option, yes, option में थोड़ा खेल हो गया है, तो नया ऑप्शन बना देते हैं. आई नो एग्जाम में ऐसा ऑप्शन नहीं होता, पर आपको बोनस मार्क्स मिल जाएंगे ऐसा अगर एग्जाम में होगा तो. ठीक है, ये तो हमारे घर का एग्जाम चल रहा है अभी, तो यहाँ पे हम थोड़ा सा ऑप्शन बना लेते हैं. ठीक है, सेकेंड एंड थर्ड इज द करेक्ट चॉइस हियर. ओके, ऑप्शन डी विल बी द करेक्ट चॉइस. राइट गाइस. Next one, what is the maximum limit of FDI, foreign direct investment, under the government approved route in the public sector banks, in the private sector banks, and the maximum individual stake in a bank? So they are asking 3 limits. In single short question they have asked you 3 limits. The correct choice is option D, 20% in the private sector banks, public sector banks. In the private sector 74, and individual stake in a bank is 10%. Okay, limits are given here as well. Option D is the correct choice. Perfect. Option D. Okay guys. Next one, 2 banks, F and G. Okay, F and G, there are 2 banks, have the same outstanding shares. They are having the same number of outstanding shares. They are having the same equity capital. They have same amount of dividend. They have same amount of earnings. However, they are having different market prices. They are having different market prices. So if I talk about the number of shares, equal number of shares, F bank and G bank. If I talk about equity capital, equal. If I talk about the dividend amount, equal. If I talk about the earnings, equal. Now you can have a look. This is 2021 previous year question. This is a core accounting question is what I can say. This is directly from the financial analysis chapter. If you don't understand PE ratio, if you don't understand earning per share, if you don't understand dividend per share or book value per share, you won't be able to answer this question. But in 2021, accounting was not at all there in your course. That is the sad part. But RBI never stopped asking questions around finance and accounting, right? So you need to be very, very strong in the basics at least. However, the market prices were different. F was having 1800 as the market price and G was having 600 as the market price. That is the scenario. You need to tell which of the following is true. So options are in front of you. Let me know in the comment section. What do you think is the correct choice here? This is a core accounting question, I can say, basics of accounting question. What should be the correct choice here, guys? Now this is a core conceptual question, okay? If you don't know the basics, you won't be able to answer it. Basics of accounting is very, very crucial here. Because this is not just a ratta maar wala question, this is the application of accounting, right? So you need to use your brains here. Guys, if my number of shares are the same, EPS, earning per share, so I'll be just taking my earning. In my earning per share, what is the formula? My earnings divided by the number of share. Everything is equal. How can the EPS be different? Wrong. Book value of one is higher than the other. No. Why? Because equity capital is the same for both. Right? Earnings are same for the both. How can the book value be different? Book value is nothing but balance sheet value. it will be the same again. Net assets will be the same again, right? In the absence of any other information. Dividend of one company will be higher. No, not a possibility. They have clearly written that dividend is equal. खुद ही लिख रहे हैं ऊपर कि डिविडेंड सेम है, उसके बाद खुद ही पूछ रहे हैं कि क्या डिविडेंड हायर हो सकता है. अरे कैसे हो सकता है? पहली बात तो यहाँ डिविडेंड पर शेयर होना चाहिए था, तब जाके तो क्वेश्चन अच्छा बनता. ठीक है, ये क्वेश्चन की पुअर फ्रेमिंग है कि आप खुद ऊपर लिख रहे हो डिविडेंड बराबर है, फिर नीचे पूछ रहे हो डिविडेंड ज्यादा है क्या. भाई डिविडेंड पर शेयर तो लिख दो कम से कम, डीपीएस, राइट. यू शुड हैव रिटन डिविडेंड पर शेयर हियर. सो तो क्वेश्चन ही पुअरली फ्रेम्ड है. डिविडेंड इज द लोएस्ट, वापस से वही बात, पुअर फ्रेमिंग ऑफ द क्वेश्चन. P ratio of one is higher than the other, obviously. Why? Because what is P ratio is market price per share divided by earning per share. Now earning per share in both the cases will be same only, but because of the change in the market price, there will be a change in the P ratio. Because of the change in the market price, there will be a change in the P ratio. Why? Because let's suppose the earning per share is 2 rupee. Now this will be same for both, but the market price is different. Right, as stated in the question. So it will directly impact the P ratio. Right? सर इतना टाइम मिलेगा क्या क्वेश्चन करने का? अरे कुछ भी नहीं है भाई, अभी समझा रहा हूँ इसलिए इतना टाइम लग रहा है. क्यों कम टाइम लगना चाहिए? लेट मी टेल यू. दे हैव डायरेक्टली गिवन यू मार्केट प्राइस पर शेयर. व्हेनेवर दे गिव यू मार्केट प्राइस पर शेयर, डायरेक्टली आपका दिमाग जाना ही पी की तरफ चाहिए. वाई? बिकॉज आई डोंट थिंक देयर इज एनी अदर फॉर्मूला डायरेक्टली हु इज यूजिंग द मार्केट प्राइस पर शेयर. I don't think there is any other formula in ratio analysis which is there in the option as well, which is directly impacting the P ratio. Whenever someone talks about the market price per share, directly a hint goes to P ratio. So सबसे पहला ऑप्शन ही मैं इसमें P ratio का ढूंढ रहा होता, right? For a beginner, what he will be do is he will be following the rejection approach. Here rejected, here rejected, here rejected, here rejected. For a pro, he will be directly looking for PE. कि PE कहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है. Why? Because obviously market price is different. Rest all the things are same. Shares are same. So the per share value will be same only. But if the candidate is pro, if the student is a bit pro, if he is a smart working student, he'll directly look for P ratio in the question. सबसे पहला ऑप्शन ही मैं यही रीड करता, राइट? और जो भी अकाउंटिंग सीख चुके हैं पेड क्लासेस के अंदर, सबसे पहला ऑप्शन ही आप लोग ये रीड करोगे. आपको बता रहा हूँ कैसे अप्रोच करना है. If you don't approach this way, these questions will waste your time, right? So that's a smart strategy. What to read first is also a matter of competitive advantage here, right? So please do remember, guys, here you need to look for the P ratio. Whenever there's a market price per share discussion, you need to first look at the P ratio in any option. अगर मैं इस ऑप्शन को टेस्ट करता तो ये पहले ही सही हो जाता, तो मैं डायरेक्टली बिना पढ़े दूसरे ऑप्शन को इसको टिक करके आ जाता. अगर दूसरा ऑप्शन भी कोई सही हो रहा है, राइट, सो ऑब्वियसली वो क्वेश्चन का फॉल्ट है, ऑलरेडी आपको मार्क्स मिल जाएंगे, बोनस मार्क्स. बट हाई चांसेस है कि अब जब पी रेशो की बात हो रही है तो मैं सबसे पहले पी रेशो को ही हिट करूँ ना, दूसरे को पढ़ के टाइम खराब करूँ ही क्यों. अनलेस एंड अनटिल इट्स अ मल्टीपल वाला क्वेश्चन की बोथ वन एंड टू, बोथ 2 and 3, वो वाला हुआ तो आपको पढ़ना ही पड़ेगा, राइट. बट देयर इज अ ऑप्शन in these kind of questions, you can save your time. Option E. Next one. An organization has introduced a specialized program designed to fulfill India's electronic toll collection needs. This initiative provides a standardized toll payment system that operates nationwide, offering services such as transaction settlement, dispute resolution. System ensures interoperability by maintaining uniform procedure, technical standards, business practices, allowing the users to pay toll. जो क्वेश्चंस पूछे गए उसका कोई रिलेवेंस नहीं आ रहा पैराग्राफ में से, राइट. सो बेटर अप्रोच इज पहले एक बार क्वेश्चन देख लो, अगर सॉल्व हो रहा हो तो डायरेक्टली सॉल्व कर दो, राइट. नहीं हो रहा हो तो फिर पैरा पढ़ो. विच ऑर्गेनाइजेशन लॉन्च द नेशनल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक टोल कलेक्शन सिस्टम टू एड्रेस द इंडियाज टोलिंग नीड्स विथ यूनिफाइड इंटरऑपरेबल सॉल्यूशन? क्विकली गाइज इन द कमेंट सेक्शन, व्हाट डू यू थिंक इज द करेक्ट चॉइस? Yes, NPCI. Okay, option A, NPCI. Next one. The passage refers to which toll collection system? and which account type used for seamless nationwide payments? NETC and FASTag. Okay, NETC and FASTag. That is the correct choice here. Next one. The capital market is a financial market where long-term securities such as stock, bond, debentures bought and sold. It helps in mobilizing the saving. अब हाई चांसेस है कैपिटल मार्केट का क्वेश्चन है तो रेगुलेटरी बॉडी पूछेगा कि कौन रेगुलेट करता है कैपिटल मार्केट को. देखना ऐसा होता है जनरली. इंश्योरेंस होगा तो इंश्योरेंस रेगुलेटरी बॉडी पूछेगा, मनी मार्केट होगा तो मनी मार्केट रिलेटेड रेगुलेटरी बॉडी पूछेगा, राइट. It helps in mobilizing the savings and individuals and institutions and channels into the productive investments, thereby facilitating the economic growth. The market provides companies, governments and other organizations access to fund to expand and develop their operations. As per the SEBI's circular, which payment method was introduced as an alternative to ASBA? ASBA means application supported by blocking amount. Application supported by blocking amount, ASBA. Which of the method was introduced for applying for an IPO? 2021 के अंदर 2018 का सर्कुलर का क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया. सर हमको इतना पहले का भी पढ़ना है क्या? देखो ये बहुत कॉमन सेंस वाला क्वेश्चन है. दिस इज अ कंप्लीटली कॉमन सेंस बेस्ड क्वेश्चन. यहाँ पे करेक्ट आंसर आपका यूपीआई है, राइट. सो दे आर जस्ट टेस्टिंग योर कैपिटल मार्केट्स का प्रैक्टिकल अंडरस्टैंडिंग. कोई अगर थोड़ा भी कैपिटल मार्केट से फेमिलियर होगा तो आप लोग आराम से गेस कर पाओगे दैट इट इज यूपीआई, राइट. नेक्स्ट वन. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स अबाउट द फाइनेंशियल रेगुलेटरी बॉडीज इन इंडिया आर करेक्ट? सेबी रेगुलेट्स द कमोडिटी मार्केट. दे देख लो रेगुलेटरी मार्केट को रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया. वेन एवर दे विल बी गिविंग यू अ पर्टिकुलर फाइनेंशियल मार्केट, हाई चांसेस दे विल बी गिविंग यू अ क्वेश्चन which is asking the regulatory body who is regulating the market. This is a trend of RBI. SEBI regulates the commodity market, SEBI regulates the capital market, RBI regulates the NBFCs. Which of the following option is correct? All are correct, right? All are correct. ASBA, application supported by blocking amount. Applications for IPO can be submitted through which of the following? Which of the following category you can submit your application as if you want to make it ASBA, application supported by blocking amount? The correct choice here is SCSBs. SCSBs are self-certified syndicate banks. So SEBI ने ऑथराइज कर रखा है कुछ बैंक्स को जिनको बोलते हैं SCSBs. ओके, इसके अंदर बहुत सारे बैंक्स आ जाते हैं, कमर्शियल बैंक्स भी आ जाते हैं. सो ये सब क्या कर सकते हैं? ASBA, एप्लीकेशन सपोर्टेड बाय ब्लॉकिंग अमाउंट से एप्लीकेशन लगवा सकते हैं म्यूचुअल फंड की. सर ये हमारे लिए क्या रिलेवेंट है? देखो बताता हूँ तुम्हारे लिए क्या रिलेवेंट है. ये सेशन क्यों देखना तुम लोगों के लिए रिलेवेंट है? वाई? बिकॉज इन बिटवीन द क्वेश्चंस आई एम अगेन एंड अगेन टेलिंग यू द इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चंस, राइट. I have almost tell you 5 to 6 questions that can directly come in the examination. Here is the 7th question. ASBA सिर्फ IPO में नहीं होता है, इंश्योरेंस में भी होता है. So IRDAI has allowed the ASBA facility, application supported by blocking amount, in your insurance as well. Okay, and this concept we have covered in the finance current affairs session. I think 4 months back, 3 to 4 months back, we have covered this particular concept, right? Where your premium will be only deducted. As of now, it will be freezed. Your premium will be freezed in your account, just like the IPO amount. And once your policy is approved, your premium will be deducted to the insurance company. How many of you guys remember this thing? How many of you guys remember this thing? Whenever I hear the word ASBA, I feel that ये IPO वाला तो कितनी बार एग्जाम्स में आ चुका है, डेफिनेटली वापस आ सकता है. But high probability question is ASBA facility in insurance, right? In the premium side. Nobody remember these questions. Why? Because maybe there was a lacking in the number of revisions, right? बार बार रिविजन करने से ही आपको याद रहेगा गाइस, बार बार रिविजन करने से ही आपको याद रहेगा. दिस कैन कम इन योर 2025 एग्जामिनेशन RBI. ठीक है, I'm just telling you the areas from which question can be there in the examination by my understanding, by my experience, right? Next one. Launched in January 2016, a new model was introduced to boost investment in India's road infrastructure. This model blends the features of two earlier approaches, EPC, engineering, procurement and construction, and BOT, build, operate, transfer models. In the EPC model, government, specifically the NHAI, funds the construction and retains all the responsibilities, including the toll collection and the maintenance. In contrast, BOT model entrusts the private players with building, operating and maintaining the road. So obviously in EPC, NHAI is there, and in BOT, private players are there. The very first question. Which road development model introduced in 2016 and designed as a hybrid? Now, which model is a hybrid of EPC and BOT framework? Here we are able to balance the government funding and the private sector participation as well. Very good, Akshay. HAM model, hybrid annuity model. It's a combination of EPC and BOT. Next one. The PPP model, public-private partnership model, facilitates the collaboration between the government and the private players for project development. In which of the following sector the PPP model was most commonly implemented? Very simple question. Infrastructure, right? Infrastructure, guys. Infrastructure, very simple question. जिसको कुछ नहीं पता है वो भी इसको guess कर सकता है, right? High probability पे. In the above model discussed, what is the ratio of this support between construction and operation? What is the ratio of this support between construction and operation? Now this can't be judged. अगर आपको पता है तो पता है, नहीं पता है तो नहीं पता है, right? ऐसे questions के अंदर कभी भी calculated guess use नहीं करना चाहिए. Never to use calculated guess in these kind of questions. Option B, 40-60. Okay, 40-60. Next one again is a question 2021 में आया था, 2025 में वापस आ सकता है, थोड़ा सा कॉन्सेप्ट चेंज करके आ सकता है. To foster innovation in the financial sector, RBI has introduced a concept of regulatory sandbox approach. This framework allows live testing of the financial products, of the fintech products in a controlled environment, right? Recently, RBI has announced its second what under this particular framework. Recently, RBI has allowed the second what in the framework. So, उस time पे it was cohort, right? क्या अभी भी cohort चलती है? Yes. सर वापस कैसे आ सकता है? इतना पुराना है. अरे भाई अभी भी तो cohort चलती है. Can you guys tell me what kind of cohort is as of now concluded? Anyone? Which cohort as of now has concluded recently in the past month, I think? In the last month. Yes, very good, Aditi. Fifth cohort. The theme was neutral. Please do remember the theme was neutral. It was the fifth cohort. And out of all the products, RBI has found viable the product of the sandbox entity, which is Indian Bank Digital Infrastructure Company. Please do remember the name as well. Generally नाम आते नहीं है पर क्या पता आ जाए, right? क्या पता आ जाए. एप्लीकेशन कहां से हुई थी? प्रवाह पोर्टल से हुई थी. आई होप आपको पता हो प्रवाह पोर्टल क्या है. डायरेक्टली एग्जाम में आ सकता है 2025 में, राइट? दिस इज द न्यूज ऑफ 14th August 2025. वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, कैन बी वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर योर एग्जामिनेशन. नेक्स्ट वन, अ फाइनेंशियल मार्केट इज अ मार्केट प्लेस वेयर बायर एंड सेलर ट्रेड्स in financial instruments like stocks, bonds, currencies, derivatives. It plays a crucial role in the economy by facilitating the allocation of resources, raising capital, transferring the risk, ensuring liquidity, and financial markets are essential for economic development. मुझे नहीं लग रहा कि यहाँ पे आपको कुछ भी मिलने वाला है. ठीक है, पैरा में से दिस इज बहुत ही जनरल पैराग्राफ. पहले की 2-3 लाइन पढ़ के समझ में आ जाएगा कि पैराग्राफ में कुछ मिल रहा है कि नहीं मिल रहा है. सर पर एग्जाम में नहीं समझ में आता बिकॉज यू आर इन अ प्रेशर इन एग्जाम. मैं भी एग्जाम दे रहा होता तो हो सकता है मुझे भी पूरा पैरा पढ़ना पड़ रहा होता, राइट? Which of the following institutions function as a depositories in the financial market? Depositories. यार देख के ही समझ में आ रहा है कि CDSL और NSDL है, राइट, CDSL और NSDL है, सो बोथ 1 and 2 ऑप्शन ई, बोथ 1 and 2, राइट, वेरी गुड। राहुल, अक्षय, अदिति, परफेक्ट, ऑप्शन ई। नेक्स्ट वन, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इंस्टीट्यूशन सर्व एज अ प्राइमरी रेगुलेटर अथॉरिटी फॉर कैपिटल मार्केट इन इंडिया। यार मेरे को नहीं लगता ऐसा क्वेश्चन पूछना भी चाहिए, ठीक है, सेबी इसका करेक्ट आंसर है, ना पूछना चाहिए आरबीआई को, ना हमको बताना चाहिए यहाँ पे, ठीक है, ऑब्वियस सी बात है, सेबी इसका रेगुलेटर है, राइट। नेक्स्ट, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग इज द नेम ऑफ द पेमेंट रेगुलेटर दैट वाज एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन 2007? NPCI, राइट, NPCI। ये PFRDA में भी आ गया था, बताओ अब आप, है ना, ये PFRDA में भी आ गया था। द प्रॉब्लम विद दीज काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस इज दीज आर न्यूट्रल क्वेश्चंस। कोई सुबह उठ के भी आ गया होगा ना, 6 महीने कुछ नहीं पढ़ के सुबह उठ के भी आ गया होगा, वो भी सेबी को ही टिक करेगा, राइट। So guys, that's all from my end for today. Thank you so much for attending the lecture, and we are offering a 101 mentorship batch as well, so you can check out the course highlights if you want to take mentorship. Plus you can attempt the previous year question session as well. 2024 वाला PYQ session is completely free. RBI preparation kit भी है, that too completely free of cost. और अगर कोई भी query है तो आप हमेशा मुझसे connect कर सकते हो. This is my Telegram channel, right? You can always drop your query. आधी रात को भी डाल दोगे तो मैं ट्राई करता हूँ कि मैं बहुत ही रियल टाइम के अंदर रिप्लाई कर दूँ. ओके, सो थैंक यू सो मच गाइज, बाय बाय, टेक केयर, सी यू सून.